let's get right into it. Back on May 20th, 2025, the world was introduced to something called the Golden Dome. We're talking about a defense project so huge, so ambitious, it makes the entire Apollo program look like a kid's science fair project. The pitch was simple, an absolutely impenetrable shield over America. But here's the thing, the debate it kicked off is just as massive. Is this the ultimate safeguard, or is it a historic, catastrophic failure just waiting to happen?
This was the mission statement. 4 simple words, delivered with all the weight of the presidency behind them. It's a promise of absolute, total security. The whole idea is to completely rewrite the rules of global power, to make the United States completely immune to missile attacks. But you know, a promise this big, well, it comes with a price tag to match. And this one is just astronomical.
So as we break down the tech, the money, and the global fallout of this thing, I really need you to stick with me, because I'm going to reveal some pretty shocking evidence toward the end of this explainer. The one critical scientific flaw that could bring this entire multi-trillion-dollar system crashing down. And trust me, it has nothing to do with politics. Okay, let's get back to it.
All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, the incredible promise itself. Then we'll deconstruct the technology, piece by piece. We'll follow the money, and there's a lot of it. We'll look at the new arms race this might be starting, then expose that critical flaw I just mentioned, and finally, we'll ask the ultimate question. Is this a fortress or a cage?
So let's start at the beginning. What is the Golden Dome exactly? To really get why it's so controversial, you have to wrap your head around the scale of it all. I mean, this isn't just an upgrade. This is a project that aims to completely redefine what national defense even means.
You know, a lot of people say, well, hey, Israel has the Iron Dome, it works great. And it does. But comparing the two is like comparing a bicycle to a starship. It's not even in the same universe. Iron Dome protects an area the size of New Jersey from pretty basic rockets. The Golden Dome is being designed to protect almost 4 million square miles from hypersonic missiles moving at Mach 23. It is a completely different ballgame.
So, let's get into the nuts and bolts. How on earth is this thing supposed to work? Well, the whole strategy is built on 3 different layers, all working together, designed to catch a missile at any point on its journey.
So, first up, you've got the ground layer. Think hundreds of brand new interceptors buried in silos, ready to hit missiles in the middle of their flight. Then there's the air layer, which is basically Iron Dome on steroids, designed to protect major cities. But the real game changer, the part that's truly wild, is the space layer. A massive constellation of satellites, each one armed with its own interceptors, waiting in orbit.
But right away, we hit a snag, and it's a big one. According to the American Physical Society, and these folks really know their physics, the system has a huge problem. It struggles to tell the difference between a real warhead and, well, a cheap decoy balloon. So you have to ask yourself, what good is a shield? What good is any of this if your enemy can fool it with tinfoil?
And that question leads us directly to the money. Because even if the tech was flawless, the price tag alone is causing an absolute firestorm. We're talking about a budget so big it could literally reshape the American economy.
$4 trillion. Just look at that number. Let it sink in. Now, to be clear, that is not the official number from the government. But it's the number that independent analysts, people at places like the American Enterprise Institute, believe a system that actually works could end up costing.
And this chart just says it all. The White House is telling taxpayers it'll cost about $175 billion. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says, it's probably closer to $500 billion. And then outside experts are saying it could be over $3.5 trillion. When the estimates are that far apart, it really tells you one thing. Nobody has a clue what this will actually cost.
So, who's in line to get paid from these massive contracts? Well, it's a who's who of defense and tech. You've got newer players like SpaceX, reportedly handling the massive satellite grid. Tech firms like Palantir and Anduril are building the AI brain behind it all. And of course, the legacy giants, Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, are making the actual interceptors, the bullets themselves.
But this is bigger than just technology and money. The Golden Dome is sending massive shockwaves around the entire planet. Because here's the terrifying irony. Building the ultimate defense might just trigger the ultimate offense.
For the better part of a century, the world's been kept in a fragile peace by an idea called mutually assured destruction. The simple logic that nobody can win a nuclear war. The Golden Dome throws that entire logic out the window. From the American side, it's about safety. But if you're sitting in Moscow or Beijing, an America that can't be hit back, well, that looks like a massive threat. It erases their entire deterrent.
Which leads directly to this dangerous paradox. If you build a shield that can stop, say, 100 missiles, what do you think your adversaries are going to do? they're going to build 101 missiles. Or they'll build new weapons designed specifically to beat the shield. Their goal becomes simple: saturate it, overwhelm it. And just like that, in trying to end one threat, you kick off a brand new 21st century arms race.
Okay, it's time to talk about the one critical flaw I promised you at the start, the fatal problem that has nothing to do with budgets or politics or international treaties. It all comes down to the cold, hard laws of physics. It's the simple problem of hitting a bullet with another bullet in space.
The problem has a name. It's called the absentee ratio. And it's actually pretty simple. The Earth is spinning, the satellites are orbiting at thousands of miles per hour, and because of that simple, brutal reality of orbital mechanics, the vast majority of your incredibly expensive satellite fleet is never in the right place at the right time. For any given launch, most of your satellites are, well, they're absent.
Let's make this really concrete. Imagine just a single missile launch from a place like North Korea, okay? Just one. To absolutely guarantee that you have just one of your interceptor satellites in the perfect position to take it out,
You would need a constellation of maybe 1,000 satellites in orbit, just for that one spot. Now imagine a major power launching hundreds of missiles at once, from all over. The numbers just become impossible. You'd need a web of tens of thousands of satellites blanketing the globe. It's a logistical and financial nightmare that might just be physically impossible.
So where does that leave us? After all of this, the technology, the staggering cost, the global fallout, the pure physics of it all. What is the Golden Dome really?
The argument is split right down the middle. Supporters will tell you this is a necessary step, the only way to make sure that American cities can't be held hostage by a rogue state. But critics, they say this is just Star Wars 2.0, a sci-fi fantasy from the 1980s that's going to bankrupt the country and, ironically, make everyone less safe by provoking a new arms race.
And so that's the question I want to leave with you. Is $4 trillion, or whatever the final number is, worth the promise of being invulnerable? This isn't just about technology or budgets anymore. It's about what security actually means and what price we're willing to pay for just the feeling of being safe.
I really want to know what you think about all this. Is the Golden Dome a necessary fortress or a dangerous, expensive folly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And make sure you subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss our updates as this project goes through the congressional hearings.
Thanks for digging into this with me. Our next explainer is popping up on your screen right now. Go check it out. I'll see you over there.